Hey, welcome back. I'm Marq Neasman, and this is another High Performance Leadership Masterclass. And right now we are unpacking a conversation around this word impact, which is a part of the impact method, a methodology that we implement here in Marq Neasman Consulting to ensure that our clients are creating cultures. And the reason that that's important is because as leaders, we realize that we have no control over human beings. We don't control the minds, and we also realize that culture is far more powerful than mindset. And so if we want to get things done, if we want to build high performance teams, if we want to build companies that outlive us and are long lasting and allow the opportunity to create successions, we have to focus on culture. And so that makes the impact method of utmost importance. And so that being said, just recapping really quickly, we had a conversation before about the word identity, and identity breaks down into 5 P's, if you would. And the first P is of the past of an individual. The second P is the people in that individual's life. The third P is personality. The fourth P is purpose. And the fifth P is priorities. And we honestly see all of these come out in most cases in the hiring process. Right? The whole point of identity should be to help the people that want to do the work alongside you to be able to easily self-identify. That's the whole point. And we in Marq Neasman Consulting are all high performance leaders, right? And our entire objective is to create a nation, a world of high performance leaders, right? That's our goal. And why is that a goal? Because we realize that if we can make sure that leaders are optimizing their performance and consistently maximizing their potential and mastering success, then inevitably the organization will thrive, right? And so naturally we partner with that leader or with those leaders, those executives, that C-suite, and help to solve their most dire problems, their most dire needs. And that's what makes the relationship and the partnership so successful. Now, the next conversation that we're having here is about mission. Today's conversation is about mission, which is the letter M in impact. Now, something that you're going to note is this quick disclaimer: nothing about the impact method is going to ever use any word that's confusing. And that's because one of the bare-based principles we believe in Marq Neasman Consulting is to keep things simple. Now, simplicity is rarely easy. In fact, it's never easy. All right, that's why we have value. We do hard things really well, right? But keeping things easy helps to create buy-in. Keeping things easy helps individuals around us to remember and to adapt naturally. And so this conversation of mission isn't anything 9 times out of 10 that you haven't heard of before, right? And you may very well have a vision and a mission that represents your organization. That's not the question here. The question is about culture. And so that means how well have you gotten the minds that are a part of that organization to actually buy into those words that are on the wall, right? That's the key here. How are we being intentional as leaders about making sure that our staff, that our teams, that our employees, that our associates, that our stakeholders are buying in, and we can see it transforming their behavior. We can see it then show up in KPIs. We can see it show up in SOPs. And that's really the whole point of this mission conversation. Mission, we break down into 3 questions. There are 3 questions that should come from the mission. The first obvious question is, what are we doing? What are we doing? What is it that we're trying to accomplish as an organization? What is it that you should be trying to accomplish as an individual in joining this organization? The second question that should be being asked is why? Why are we doing what we are doing? Right? Without a deeper motivation, intrinsic motivation that aligns both with the organization and an individual, it is very difficult to get people to move. Remember, the underlining principle here is we don't control people. We don't manage people. We lead people. And the best way to lead people is in a vision. It's something exterior to you. The people aren't following you. The people are following what opportunity they believe you offer them, right? And the opportunity that you offer them is going to be based on the vision that you're pursuing. So if we're pursuing a worthy vision with a mission, then naturally it creates buy-in from the individuals around us. But we don't control people. So because we don't control people, we have to do a great job of making sure we have the right personalities and people with the right past, pursuing the right purpose in life in order to accomplish the mission that we have set before us. And the third question that we should be asking naturally is, how should we get it done? How should this be accomplished? And this obviously shows up in our SOPs and in our KPIs, right? For each position or each department. And when we're able to structure our mission in this frame and align it with day-to-day tasks that should be being accomplished, it makes it very easy to create buy-in and replicate processes within our organization. And that's the entire goal of the mission. I'm honestly not going to spend too much time on this section because these are things, again, that aren't rocket science, and in many cases you're probably implementing them in one way or another. Now, what I do want to focus on when it comes to mission is exactly how you're going about making sure that that is received throughout the organization. Here's the reason why. If I had to ask a question, who's more important, your customer or your associates, your staff, your employees? Who's most important in this algorithm of building business? Now, it would probably be a 50-50 answer. So I think that a humble leader would lean to the second answer. I think a humble leader would be able to speak most confidently about the team that that individual has put together. And the reason that I say that is because, one, no man or woman accomplishes anything great. No individual accomplishes anything great by themselves, first and foremost. These principles, these questions that we use to frame mission, what, why, and how, actually go deeper than just a set of questions that we've configured. It's actually science. And a huge shout out to Simon Sinek, who today probably still has one of the most viewed TEDx videos or YouTube videos based on this principle that I'm about to share right now. He actually wrote a book behind it. And the book he wrote is called Start With Why. And the premise of this book is that anytime that you are communicating with an individual, what a person really wants to know isn't necessarily what. They actually want to know why. And this goes against how you and I typically communicate on a day-to-day basis. In most cases, like my mentor John Maxwell says, many people communicate, few people connect. And that's what's happening on a day-to-day basis, and ultimately why this mission, why this M in the impact method is so important, so intricately key to you delivering high value on a consistent basis and actually growing as a high-performance leader. What Simon Sinek said was simple. He said that when we're communicating with people, we tend to engage in a conversation. The first question we ask them is, what do you do? You might say your name, obviously, but then shortly after you say, what do you do? And in asking that question, it's just a way to break ice ultimately. But intrinsically, best is it's some selfish gain or some opportunity that in most cases we're looking for, that this individual may be able to offer to us, right? It's a fairly shallow question. The second question, if intrigued enough, that usually follows this shallow question is, well, how do you get it done? And people who are asking this question might just genuinely be curious as to how the process flows in accomplishing whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. Now, if you're able to maintain this individual's attention beyond that, eventually you'll get to the real root of what they want to know. And it's why. What inside of you, what motivating factor, either intrinsically or extrinsically, makes you get up and go out and do what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis? They really want to know why. And so that frame of mind tells you a lot about us as human beings. More than we care about knowing the what, because there's a million whats. It's more important why, because there are not many. There are not many whys that are strong enough to compel an individual to move. There are not many. There are just a few. And if you can align your why with an individual's health, wealth, relationships, and happiness, in most cases, you put yourself in a position to attract high quality talent and move your organization forward. Now, that again is something that is hard but simple. It's four simple things that the average human being generally is seeking: health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. And when you put yourself in a position as an employer, as a high performance leader, to provide those things behind a powerful mission, you put yourself in the position to impact lives on a massive scale. No pun intended. This is Mark. Hey, stay tuned as we talk about the letter P in the following presentation. Thanks so much for tuning in. Fix your crown. Rule of the day.